a member, as is Senator Collins, of the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence. We've been trying for a number of weeks to get information from ODNI related to the classified documents in the presence or in the location of the presence of the former Vice President, the former President, and the current President. According to ODNI, the Department of Justice is blocking them from providing the committee access to these documents, and the explanation is there's an appointment of a special counsel or the belief that it would otherwise compromise ongoing investigations. I would indicate that it is important for the Intelligence Committee to have access to these documents in our oversight capacity, and if there is, based upon those documents, a need for risk mitigation activities, the Intelligence Committee is obligated to oversee those activities. I also would indicate that prior leadership of the department was able to reach an accommodating circumstance with the Intelligence Committee during the Russia investigation, so there is precedent. General, is it your position that the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence cannot have access to those classified documents recovered from the homes of or offices of President Biden and Trump and Vice President Pence?
Senator, I'm surprised to hear that the NI used the word blocking. I don't want to.
Let me look and see if there's quotes or whether that's my word.
I would say we are working well with them. We believe that there is an accommodation possible. We've been trying to work towards an accommodation. We do have to balance the concerns of ongoing criminal investigations, but we also well recognize the oversight responsibilities and obligations of the committee, and we intend to work out an arrangement that will accommodate those interests. We've been working with the Office of the Director of National Intelligence towards that. We've been making quite a bit of progress recently, and we expect to make further progress.
I hope that that progress can occur. I appreciate your answer that suggests that it will occur, and I hope it occurs in a timely fashion. I would indicate that the Intelligence Committee has no interest in asking who, what, or when. Our interest is in oversight over the intelligence community. So I thank you for that answer. Let me turn to an experience I had about a week ago in Mexico City. It was the Sunday before last. I met, along with a number of my bipartisan and bicameral colleagues, with President Lopez Obrador in Mexico, something you've done on several occasions. I indicated to him that we had work to do in the United States on keeping guns from crossing the border going south, that we needed to do more to help prevent and reduce the use of drugs in the United States. But if we, as we pursued those plans of action, could the President Obrador, do more to encourage and, in fact, insist, I hope the word I would use is demand, China to eliminate the precursor chemicals coming from China to Mexico before they then cross the border to the United States. He indicated he would formally request that China take action to reduce exportation of fentanyl precursors. I think that is a promising development. The fact remains that cooperation between our two countries on law enforcement matters are extremely important. They are also significantly strained. The Drug Enforcement Administration remains severely constrained in its operational capabilities in Mexico. Excuse me while I turn the page slowly. One of the most significant lessons for me during that trip to Mexico was just how critical it is that we work to improve coordination and cooperation on law enforcement matters. Your first foreign visit to as U.S. Attorney was to Mexico. You visited again there just about 2.5 months ago. Yesterday, NBC News reported that we may be close to a major agreement with the government of Mexico to address both the flow of fentanyl and illegal firearms trafficking. General, what is your assessment of the state of U.S.-Mexico cooperation on law enforcement? Can you provide me any information about such a potential or near agreement? And I guess I'll follow up depending upon what your answers are.
So I can't really say about the pending agreement about those discussions, but I think I would align myself with every single thing that you said with respect to your visit to Mexico and your concerns. Look, the way fentanyl in particular travels is it begins with precursor sales from China to Mexico. In Mexico, it's made into fentanyl, either powder or pills. It crosses the border and then it's transmitted through our communities. The main runners are the Jalisco and the Sinaloa cartels. We need Mexico at every stage to act. We need Mexico to destroy the labs, with respect to which we've had some success. The last time I went to Mexico, right before I went, they destroyed major labs. We need them to crack down on the cartels. We need them to crack down on the purchases of precursor chemicals by Mexican companies and the sales by the Chinese. Likewise, we need to put as much pressure on China as we can to not make those sales. The Treasury Department has recently issued sanctions against some of the precursor chemical dealers in China. We think that's a useful way to cut off some of that, and I know that Treasury will be doing more in that respect. I also agree that the United States has responsibilities to prevent the transshipment of arms from the United States to the cartels in Mexico. As we saw in a very recent arrest of some of the cartel leaders, the Mexican military was almost outgunned by the weaponry that the cartels now have. So I think I would align myself with everything that you've said.
Mr. Attorney General, thank you for your answer. My time has expired. If you need resources or tools that this committee can help provide, please let us know. And I would ask you to specifically work to repair the relationship between the Mexican government and the DEA. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Moran. We will now go to Senators Murray and then Collins, and then we will take other questioners in order of appearance. So, Senator Murray.
Well, thank you very much, Chair Shaheen, and to Ranking Member Moran. I think everybody on this dais knows really well that Senator Collins and